Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about 5 ways to make any woman wildly obsessed with you. So let's get straight into it. The first point that I want to talk about is you have to be unattached to outcomes with women. So all that this means is to be more relaxed, to be more chill, to be more loose, and to just let go and enjoy yourself, and to enjoy yourself more when you are around women, when you go out on dates. Okay? And before you go out on a date, it's a good idea to get your intentions in check. Okay? Because if you have the wrong intentions, or intentions that are going to make you come across more nervous because you're trying to make an outcome happen, it's much more likely that you're not going to appear very relaxed, very laid back, very loose. It's going to make you more tight in your energy, more wound up in your energy, more nervous in your energy. And of course, women, a universal thing that women like is confidence in men. So you got to get your intentions in check. And I believe that the best intentions that you can have before you go out on a date, and what you say to yourself, or when you're waiting for her, whatever the situation you find yourself in, before you go out on that date, you should be thinking, okay, my goal here is to have a good time. My goal here is to get her to have a good time. My goal here is to enjoy myself, to have fun, and to get to know her. And that's it. Okay, because if you've got outcomes such as, how can I get her to warm up to me? What can I do to make her like me more? What can I do to get her approval? How can I sleep with her at the end of the night? How can I make her my girlfriend? How can I turn this into a relationship? It's going to make you more inwardly focused, and it's going to make you extremely attached to these outcomes, okay? So if you become unattached to outcomes and you're solely just in the present moment, enjoying yourself, getting her to laugh, enjoying meeting a new person in your life, and to enjoy the process and the communication of just being with another human being, that's going to be a lot more better for you. And women will like that more, right? And will like you more because they can sense in your energy, they can sense in your vibe that you're more loose and relaxed, and you're not wound up or tight or feeling nervous and having this jittery energy about yourself, okay? Which often is a byproduct of having the wrong intentions where you're trying to make an outcome happen. So that's the first point, okay? To be unattached to outcomes with women, okay? And basically what that means is just letting go, okay? So the second way you can make a woman wildly obsessed with you is if you have a grand calling for your life. If you have a grand mission, a grand purpose for your life that has nothing to do with women, okay? So your calling might be a side hustle, or it could be a business venture. It could be your career already. Perhaps you really love the career that you're already in. Perhaps it's a fitness thing. Perhaps it's learning a new skill, but there's something that you really love, okay? And it's a passion of yours, and it gets you inspired and makes you feel ambitious, and it brings a lot of enthusiasm, and it gives you sort of like a zest for life, a juice for life, right? Because I think we've all had times in our life where we kind of feel like everything is like Groundhog Day. We feel, it's just we're sort of living in like a brain fog, basically. But when you're really inspired and you have a goal that you really, really love and you really, really care about, it brings the zest back into your life. It brings that juice back into your life. And that is really attractive to women. Women like men and prefer men who have something going on in their life, whether it be a business venture or just learning a new skill or just something that is really, really inspiring for them, okay? So it doesn't have to be about making more money or anything like that, but it has to be something that you truly love and care about, that you feel just super ambitious about, Okay, you got to have something like that, but it can't be related to women. It can't be my goal in life is to get a wife. My goal in life is to get laid. It can't be anything like that. It has to be something else. Okay, and the reason why that is because if you put women as the top priority in your life, then when women disappoint you in life, which is going to happen because women are not perfect beings, they're not going to please you 24/7. Even if you get into the most perfect relationship with a woman, she's still a human being. She's still going to have flaws. She's still going to piss you off sometimes. It's just how it is, okay? So if you put a woman at the top of that pedestal, right, and you put her paramount, and she messes up, which she's going to do because she's a human being, and she's the main thing in your life, she's your main priority, then your life around you will just crumble and you'll just turn into a ball of mess because you've put her at such a high priority in your life. She's the top thing, okay? So that's why you're going to have something else that's the top thing. That's why you're going to have a calling or a mission or a purpose or something that inspires you, that you're doing, working towards every day, and what you're thinking about every day, okay? So number 3, you got to focus on women who care about you. And let go of these women who have put you in friend zone, who have dumped you, who have lost interest, who are playing hot and cold. You've got to let go of those women. You just have to. Because if you are attached to those women, okay, your life is going to be so much more difficult. So you'll make life so much easier for yourself if you focus on women who are enthusiastic about you. And, you know, like I say this quite a lot, but life is already difficult. You know, this is one of those things that you can have some control over. You can control which women you let enter your life. You can control who you date. You can control who you continue to date, because you may go on a date with a woman, you may really like her, but she may not like you. So unfortunately, in those situations, you have to let them go. Okay? And then focus on finding a woman that you really like, that really likes you. And then if you do that, then you've at least got one thing in your life that isn't a pain in the ass. Okay? Okay? Now, I'm not saying that your whole relationship will then be plain sailing, but it will be less difficult than if you tried to get with a woman who was playing hot and cold, or she just wants your attention, or she's very argumentative, or she's got some other kind of personality flaw. Okay? So focus on women who care about you. So why does that then make women more wildly obsessed with you? Well, it makes you look like you respect yourself, okay? And women like men who respect themselves. And often it's the men who respect themselves that get more respect from other people, and that includes women. Okay? So women find that attractive. If you're a doormat and you let women walk over you, and you're like, you're trying to keep all these women in your life that have rejected you, it shows a lack of self-respect. Whereas if you feel like a woman has lost interest and you're cutthroat and you don't talk to her again, it shows more respect, because you respect your time and you respect your inner circle, right? And who you let into your life and who you release from your life, yeah? So it makes you look a little bit more cutthroat. It makes you have more of an edge, and that you're not a doormat, and you're not going to let every single woman that enters your life walk all over you. And women like that. They can sense it in your energy. Okay? So focus on women that care about you. So the 4th thing that I want to talk about is to ignore and to go into no contact with women that don't care. Now, interestingly enough, when you do this, when you realize then that a woman is not as interested in you anymore, let's say she was interested and then for some reason she lost interest and you don't know why, or it could be a woman that friend zoned you, or it could be a woman that's dumped you, and you're more sort of like, okay, fine, I'm going to ignore her, I'm going to do no contact, I'm not going to talk to her anymore. Interestingly enough, those women sometimes creep back in because they still have feelings for you, and because you displayed this strong energy of letting them go and going into no contact and not talking to them, they find that more attractive because you've given them loads of space, and they started to miss you because you gave them that space, and they started to fear losing you, And then they start to creep back into your life. You'll start noticing that they're watching your stories more on Instagram, Facebook. You'll notice that maybe they're liking more of your posts, or they're reaching out to you and doing all these things, right, that women sometimes do when they start to regain interest. Okay, so the women that have lost interest will start to regain interest once they feel like they've lost you. So that's another cool byproduct of that. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about is you got to be confident. And I've already talked about this in I've already touched on this a little bit, but I want to go back to emphasize this, because women, one of the big universal things that women like about men is their confidence. So you at least need to be more confident than her. That's all that this means. I'm not saying that you need to be, showing a lot of bravado and prancing around, like a I don't know, like a confident pony or something. I don't know. And being arrogant. You don't need to do those things. You just need to be more confident and sure of yourself than what she is. So when you go on a date with a woman, you can probably notice when you're talking to her and when you're interacting and spending time with her, you can feel her energy. Basically, you'll be able to sense how much confidence that she has. Okay, so the idea then is to have more confidence than her. Okay, so for example, let's say she is too shy to go up to the bar and ask for a drink, right? Let's say she's too shy about that. Let's say she's got a bit of social anxiety that a lot of people have these days, because we're too busy talking to people on our phones instead of having face-to-face interactions. So let's say that's one of her things. But let's say also you kind of feel a bit jittery whenever you go up to the bar and ask as well. Let's say you've got a bit of social anxiety as well. Well, you got to have more. You can't just let her go up to the bar and get the drinks if you know that that's something that she's really, really nervous about, because you feel nervous too. That's showing that you've got the weaker energy and you're making her be the leader by going up and doing that. So you be the leader and show them more confidence. Even if you have got that social anxiety, somehow power through and go up and ask. Because that's the point. If you become less confident than what she is, it's going to turn her into the more dominant one, the leader, which is usually the masculine role, which is usually the role of the man. So, you can't let her take on the role of the man. That's essentially what this means. That's essentially what confidence is. You're taking on the role of the man. And in terms of this, I'm talking about leadership, being more sure of yourself, and being the one that decides, being the one that chooses. And that's another way that you can show a woman that you're confident, by choosing things. So for example, when you're talking to each other and you're arranging a date, offer a suggestion. Don't let her come up with the plans, because you'll be then making her the leader, which is more of the masculine role. Okay. Now, some women are completely comfortable in the masculine role, and it doesn't affect their attraction whatsoever, because, everyone's different. We've all got different personalities. So it might be the case that you meet a woman that's, fine with making the plans, and it doesn't lower her attraction for you whatsoever. But what you'll find with the majority of women is if you try and make them the leader, yeah, then it lowers their attraction, even if it's just slightly, okay? So, figure out, you be the one then to figure out the time to meet, the place where you're going to go, what you're going to do on the date. You plan all that, you do all that, yeah? And most women will just be happy to go along with it. And if she isn't, for example, let's say you suggest going to this restaurant, but someone she knows works there, perhaps it's an ex, perhaps it's someone who bullied her at school or something like that, she'll let you know. She'll say, I don't really want to go to that restaurant. And she may offer an alternative and say, how about we go here? But she may not, and then you might have to come up with another place, right? So it's always a good idea to have like a good bunch of places that you like to go to for dinner or to do on a date. It doesn't have to be dinner. It could be like places to meet, like parks, or, like a nice place around, like a nice shopping center or something that you like to, go around and do laps with and talk to women to on dates. So just come up with have a few different things in your toolbox that you could pull out and say, how about we do this instead then, if you don't want to go there, and just do that. And that's all you need to do. And women will like that. Women will like that decisiveness. That will make a woman wildly obsessed with you. The fact that you're just being able to make the plans and being able to be decisive and be the leader like that, it really, really is attractive to women. Okay? Another thing that I just want to touch upon, because I forgot to say this, but when I talked about the second point, which is having an inspiring calling for your life, when you are working towards something that is really important to you, so this was going back to point 2, just to reiterate, when a man, right, is working towards something that's really, really important to him, like a grand calling for himself, that automatically puts him in his masculine, automatically, because masculinity has, again, a lot to do with confidence, leadership, but also it has a lot to do with conquering. Yeah. And if you've got a grand goal for yourself that you're trying to conquer, yeah, again, it automatically puts you into your masculine essence, into your masculine energy. And that's another reason why that's really attractive to women and can make them wildly obsessed with you, because you're taking action, you're attacking your goals, and it just brings that fighter energy basically into your life and into the things that you're doing. And women can sense that, they can smell it on men. I swear. Okay, anyway, those are the 5 ways that you can make any woman wildly obsessed with you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then you can go to www.christineloveridge.com and you can get coaching with me. And if you would like to read my book, Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams, which you can find on my website, again, the same website, www.christineloveridge.com. You can go read this for free, and there's a wealth of tips in there that will help you attract beautiful women. And you don't have to log into the website, you don't have to sign up for it. Just go to the website, click on the menu on the website, and then go to the book, and it'll take you right to the PDF reader where you can read this for free straight away today. All you need is an internet connection to be able to read it. Okay? And there's no ads on the page either. There is a small link which will take you to the Amazon page where you can buy the physical copy or get the Kindle version, but it's not necessary because everything in the physical copy is on the website. Okay? So thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Bye.